friends, welcome back to episode 2 of Bud's Brunch. I'm Jess.
I'm Jonas.
And today we are making mascarpone stuffed French toast. But let's get down to business.
Willie!
Inside! Like, I wish I was with you when we found out, although you are the one who told me. Welcome back, Willie. Welcome home, buddy.
Welcome home.
Cheers. So, it's a, 6.9 million basic average for 6 years?
I think it's a pretty good deal when you compare what guys like McKinnon, Pasternak, Ehlers were getting.
Alright, let's get started and we'll keep talking about this, but if you don't mind cutting 4 pieces of bread there. Brioche is probably the best type of bread to use for French toast. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if you saw the interview with Dubas, but they asked him what was the turning point in negotiations with William Nylander. Did you see it at all, his comments?
What did he say?
So his comment was, the turning point was when William called me at 4:30 and said, do you want to make a deal? So just that alone tells me that Dubas is the one that held out, not necessarily William, which also tells me that his plan moving forward is going to work.
That's a good point. It does sound like Dubas was definitely ready to see him sit out the season. I don't think Willie wanted to miss a year of playing hockey on one of the best teams in the world.
Certainly not.
So
Little Bailey's in my hot chocolate.
the game is changing where you have younger guys at that age are more important, more valuable to their teams than they have ever been. Like, so all these guys, they want to get paid right when they turn 22, and I don't blame them because not a lot of guys are playing high caliber hockey into their 30s.
I honestly think that it's more of a win-win situation for both sides because, like you said, Willie wants to play hockey. He doesn't want to sit out a year. So not only is he not sitting out for the rest of the year, he's making over $10 million for playing half a season.
That's not bad.
I'd take that any day. Okay, so my delicious Bailey's hot chocolate is done. So good. Jonas, can you turn that burner on the top right?
So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen with possible line combinations when Willie comes back?
Well, personally, I think that Janssen has been playing amazingly lately. So I think it's going to be Janssen, Matthews, Nylander to be on the top line. I don't really like Kapanen on the left wing.
No, he's definitely a right winger.
I don't like him there. I don't feel like he belongs there. So I'd like to move him back.
And I don't like him as a bottom 6 grinder. I think he should be in like an offensive.
I think so too. Yeah, especially the way he's been playing lately. Like we said, playing a little more like Zach Hyman. So Hyman had a great week too. He scored a couple goals.
Couple empty netters.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he scored 1 and then an empty netter last night, so he had 2 last night.
Okay, the defensemen are just shooting it off him. A bigger question, besides line combos, is who is the odd man out?
That's what I've been toying with. I don't know.
I woke up in a sweaty sleep last night, just toying over who's out. I think it's between Ennis and Levo, who will be kind of demoted. Sorry, Tyler.
Are you gonna cry?
The little fourth liner that could.
Oh, you were a little bit skeptical about him at the beginning of the season.
Ennis he's done everything. He's done everything he could do. Levo, he's had his shot. I could see him maybe as the odd man out. Already we saw Gauthier as the guy out when Matthews came back. So tough calls, tough decisions to make if you're a coach and a general manager.
It is. I mean, either way, I think the Marlies will be happy. Okay, so 4 eggs. I'm gonna get rid of these shells for a moment. So maybe rinse my hands off. And now I'm going to mix these up. And you're gonna help me. So I need you to add, there's these 2 shots of milk.
Okay.
And then this is a little bit of Tahitian vanilla. And then that's a mixture, just a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg.
Just throw it all in?
Yeah. So speaking of Babcock's boys, you know who I kind of think is becoming one, unexpectedly actually, is Ozhiganov.
You think so?
I think Babs loves that guy.
Yeah, you know
He's
what?
been talking him up quite a bit lately. He loves that he's a big guy. He can take a hit and deliver one.
He's been getting, put in the lineup, so obviously Babcock likes something about him. Him and Dermott somehow communicate while they're...
Well, both of them had a very good good game last week because Dermott got his first of the season, and in the same game, Ozaganov got his first NHL goal.
That's right.
And so this is kind of part of the reason why I think that Babs likes him, is because after that game, you would think that they would want to talk to him, but his English isn't awesome. So Babs...
What do you mean?
I know! Like, how do you feel about your first ever NHL goal? I mean, I think his smile said it all, because the picture of him holding the puck was...
Yeah, it's...
And after the goal, of course. But Babs did, quite a lengthy kind of little interview segment on Ozaganov, just sort of singing his praises a little bit. So it's either that Babcock stepped in lieu of interviewing Ozaganov, or he just... was singing his praises because he's becoming one of Babcock's boys.
He can play, and he's cheap, which is what the Leafs need.
That's what you liked about Ennis.
Cheap contracts.
Okay, I think that pan is heated up enough. Yep. Can you toss those sausages in for me? So, I mean, we might be extremely happy about the Nylander signing, as are most Leafs fans in general, and Dubas seemed very happy about it. I am sure that Babcock did a few cartwheels, but one former Leafs brass is not happy about it.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's problem is, Brian Burke, but he was a grumpy old man last night talking about that contract, saying it's not worth, having that contract on your team when he's going to be the 7th best player. But Nylander's going to be the 3rd or 4th best player on most teams in the league. I don't think Nylander wanted to get traded, so I think that's what prompted or sit out the season. So maybe that's
exactly.
That's why he called that.
I didn't want him to sit out the
4:30.
season. I can finally take him off my bench. He's on both of our fantasy teams.
Yeah.
Next up, okay, they're playing Buffalo. Do you think Nylander is back in Buffalo, or does he play at home on Thursday against the Red Wings? I'm going to start heating this up for the toast.
I don't think he's going to play in Buffalo. I think he's going to get a few practices in. I'm going to say Saturday.
You're saying Saturday. I'm really hoping that it's Thursday because I want to go to that game.
He's back. He's going to be playing soon.
He's back. I think so. I'm very excited. Sausages looking good. Let's talk about the trickle-down effects of this signing. So, obviously with Kyle Dubas looking like he was very, very happy about the situation, that tells me that his plan moving forward to distribute salary cap money to Marner and Matthews next year seems to be working out. But what about everyone else? Like,
if you can get Jake Gardiner between $5 and $6 million, maybe we keep him. But I think priority is Matthews and Marner. Jake's been good. Like he's been better this year. He's not putting up, I don't think, the points he was last year, but I think he's been better defensively.
Which we don't need him for points. That's the thing. We have Morgan Riley. So he's our defenseman who's putting up points.
Sure.
We need him to be a stay-at-home defenseman.
If we can't keep Gardiner, he'll take the Gardiner Expressway out of town.
Good one. To Buffalo?
Well, maybe.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Especially on maybe a penalty kill, for instance. Yeah. I mean, more defensively sound, but I might even want to see Riley and Ozaganov together because of Ozaganov's size.
That's a good point. And
Riley's ability to put up points. Yeah. So you have a guy who can kind of defend the back end while Riley helps score, and maybe not even just on the penalty kill, but on the power play. Okay, we're going to butter up this pan. Okay. Now we're going to start dipping our bread so that we can put it on the skillet. Now it's time to get messy. Okay. All right, so now we're going to start dipping our brioche bread in our egg, vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg with a little bit of milk mixture. All right, well, I mean, we've talked about offense, we've talked about Nylander, we've talked about defense.
You don't want to talk about Nylander anymore? No.
I think that everyone is done talking about Nylander, and that includes the rest of his teammates.
Yeah,
I think they're done.
They're all ready just to put it behind them.
Okay, we're going to get ready here and put these delicious pieces of bread onto our skillet. Here we go. It's go time. Oh yeah. Sizzling. And do 2 at a time here. Oh, yeah. All right, so the Leafs had an interesting couple of weeks. They struggled a little bit in the beginning.
I mean, they had 4 games in 1 week. It's a combination of, how many saves does Anderson have to make?
Well,
Yeah.
40 apparently.
Seems to be like a nice round number.
Okay, so I think that our French toast is ready to flip right now, so we don't want it to burn, so we're gonna do that now. It is really good to see how well Anderson is playing though, because I remember at the beginning of last season, as well as the season before that, he struggled to start the year.
Yes.
And he has been on point mid-season form straight out of the gate this year, and it's really promising.
It's good to see.
And even the experts said at the beginning of the season that the Leafs were going to score their way out of a lot of losses.
Which they've been doing. I mean,
Yes.
last night was a pretty sloppy game defensively by the Leafs, and a couple lucky bounces, one off Hyman, Kadri's lucky kind of bouncing goal.
Well, they let them right back into that game, like they were.
Well, if you go up 2-0, I mean, you should win that game.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing against Carolina. They blew a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Okay, so these babies are ready to come off. All right, so sausages are done. This round of French toast is done. We're gonna stack them over here, and then we'll plate them beautifully. Of course, as you know, presentation is very important to me. And so is butter. You know what I mean? Butter is very important to me as well. So we're gonna use a little bit more of that. Okay, beautiful. Honestly, a little butter never hurt anybody. Okay, so we're ready for our second batch. Going on to the griddle.
Fire it up.
Let's fire it up. Oh, yeah. I really think that Matthews missed Nylander based on watching Tavares and Marner work together. Because Nylander is to Matthews what Marner and Tavares are to one another.
I agree. I mean, if you're Mike Babcock and you have all this talent, I mean, making those lines must be the best part of his job.
I know. Just puts his feet up and rolls the dice.
Oh God, yeah.
Let's just leave it. Let's talk about the two power play units. So the first one is very obvious.
Well, it's obvious, but can they switch it up? What, Nylander on the second unit, or do you put him on the first unit? Take Kadri off. I think Kadri is good on the first unit though.
Yeah. Okay. So top line: Tavares, Marner, Kadri, and then second line: Matthews, Nylander, and say Janssen.
Sure. Just tell Hyman to go to the net.
Which he does. You don't have to tell that guy to go to the net. He does it. I think he's going to roll the lines. Now that he has all the pieces.
I think that's Babcock's focus right now, is having 4 solid lines, because he's said multiple times, come springtime, you want 4 lines that can play. In the playoffs, you need 4 lines.
You have to.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as we always say here at Bud's Brunch. Okay, so speaking of teamwork, we are going to start plating. So 2 pieces. We're going to basically kind of make more of a sandwich sort of a thing out of this, and I think it's going to be delicious. So 1, 2. Okay. And now this is raspberry mascarpone. So it's literally just raspberries and mascarpone cheese that I blended up in my trusty Vitamix. These are maple candied pecans. Yeah, so I basically just toasted these in a skillet until you can kind of smell them when they start to toast, and then I just splashed a little bit of maple syrup in at the very end, and then maple candies the pecans.
Candy for breakfast? Why not?
Why not? Maple. We like maple.
You like maple? Leaves?
Yeah, maple leaves, maple pecans, maple syrup. So put some of these on here. Stick together for the maple syrup. Put another little dollop of this mascarpone on the top. Maple candied pecans. Yes. Of course, you cannot have French toast without maple syrup. That's gotta go on. So I made this. This is mocha infused sea salt. So we'll just sprinkle a couple of little pieces on top. We're gonna get you to put the sausages on the plate. One more thing, of course, for presentation purposes, is a little bit of icing sugar. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of this in here. Okay, and then you can come over to this one and just tap your hand on the side of that thing. There you go.
First time I've ever done this.
I thought it might have been your first time.
How's that?
It looks beautiful, Jonas. Good job.
Thank you.
This looks amazing, and I'm pretty excited to eat. You?
I'm starving. Let's eat.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Once again,
Here we are.
let's do this. Okay, this looks amazing. I'm very excited. Ready? Bon appetit.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's brunch. Raspberry mascarpone French toast with maple candied pecans and breakfast sausages. It's gorgeous. Okay, here we go. Mmm. Mmm. That is so good though. Yeah, are you there?
Mm.
Good?
That's good.
We're gonna end this show on a hilarious note. Because I need to tell you something that your girlfriend told me.
Uh-oh.
Actually, we were talking about the show. And so she had seen the first episode of the show. And I said, I wish that I could just film Jonas on his couch watching the game.
My natural habitat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I said, on the couch. And she says, or in bed. But she tells me that you two will be laying in bed. It'll be nice and quiet. You're ready. You're falling asleep. And all she hears is, do you want to talk about Zach Hyman? And quite frankly, Elise, as you may have gathered from my terrible British accent, is from the UK.
She probably doesn't want to talk hockey before bed, but I just say what's on my mind.
And to be fair, if you said that to me, I would absolutely want to talk about Zach Hyman.
Yeah, well, it's easy to talk about.
Who wouldn't want to talk about that guy? There's a lot to talk about.
All-around great guy.
He is. Hello. Here, cheers to Zach Hyman. Thank you again for watching Bud's Brunch.
Welcome back, Willie.
Welcome back, Willie. Cheers. Thanks for watching.